Hey, this is Prometheus, and I'm going to give you the final installment of my Russian Academy series, essentially how to go ahead and optimize your running plays. And this is going to be the one play that I was hoping would work, but to me it is kind of a dead play. Well, kinda. It's the counters. Are the counters dead this year? Well, they kinda are, and some aren't. So let's go ahead and take a look at this running play and find out how you can actually go ahead and optimize it. Alright, so with the counter, basically this is a run that starts in one direction and goes the opposite direction, and the blocking is pretty much like the Power O, which was the first part of the series, and is one of the base running plays I like to go ahead and use in my scheme. Now, unfortunately, with the counter plays, is that I just don't find that they're effective enough to actually go ahead and say, yeah, this is the kind of play that I want to use on a regular basis in my scheme, because I find a lot of times with counter plays I'll get tackled for a loss. So let's go ahead and just take a look at some random counters, and I'll go ahead and show you the counter play that I would actually select outside of what one of the standard counters are. Alright, so this is just a basic standard counter, and basically it's going to run the same way like the Power O is. So my offensive lineman, the tackle and the guard on the left hand side, and the tight end should seal block off to the left hand side. And I'm going to read that tackle to determine whether I want to bounce it to the outside or to the inside. But what happens though is just seems like everything gets jumbled up in the middle of the play, and it basically gets blown up by defenders, either sometimes in the backside pursuit, or sometimes it actually gets blown up by the seal. So really what my goal is to follow this tackle just like the guard, and look at this cross. He actually crosses over. Look at the blocking. He should be blocking straight up, but he actually goes down the sideline and actually takes out this backside pursuer, which really isn't what's going to happen with a counter. That way it's supposed to be written up. That tackle should be going up to the next level, going to take on this tackle. So now I've got essentially these two guys actually coming out, and the seal is actually broken up. And if you take a look at the read, is actually right read, because I should be able to go ahead and take this ball into the inside, but this defender actually is going to go ahead and gobble me up right here as I try to cut the ball to the inside. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like it. We'll go ahead and show you a play where the backside defenders just destroy this in the back end. So this is a pistol formation. I've got the pulling tight end and the pulling guard are actually going to be doing the seal blocks, and as you can see right here, this is one of the reasons why I don't like this particular play. Now, when I was labbing this play and I was trying to perfect my blocking scheme, I always found myself that these backside defenders would react to the ball so quick that a lot of times I was getting tackled in the backfield. Now, if I'm running the ball, I always want to get positive yards. I don't want to be giving up negative yards unless I'm going to do some kind of a pitch to the outside, where I understand that is kind of the risk of the play. If I'm doing inside running blocking, I want to try to basically optimize it. But as you can see, I'm getting contact 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and I get tackled for a loss right there. So that's one of the reasons why I've taken a look at, and I'm trying to lab this counter, and I can't find enough consistency with this run play that I really want to go ahead and call this on a regular basis. Now, there is one type of counter which doesn't seem to be a counter when you look at the play selection, but it is actually a counter, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, the only type of counter that I would actually recommend would be a misdirection, a halfback misdirection. And the reason why is that there's no guards or tackles pulling at all. It's not going to go ahead and open up a nice running lane for a backside pursuit by a defender, and it doesn't have, you don't have to worry about any kind of jumble blocking. It's more of kind of an inside zone, but the blocking with the halfback misdirection is just a little bit more stable. And if you just want to go ahead and give a fake to your opponent, you're going to the left and you're going to cut it back at the inside. So in other words, if you're going to use a stretch play and then throw in a counter on off of the stretch play, or if you got a good play action that uses misdirection, that would actually be a good time to do this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the single back ace halfback misdirection and show you how the blocking is different. And I'm not going to get sacked in the back. I'm not going to get tackled in the backfield, because the blocking is a little bit more stable with the halfback misdirection. All right, so the running back Johnson is going to take a step to the left, and then he's going to go off to the right. And as you can see right here, the depth of the running back misdirection is much better. Count the box right here. Basically, I've got 7 people in the box, and that's kind of a standard defense. Got off coverage with the defensive backs, but this is kind of a defense you're going to see on a regular basis. And right here, the depth of the blocking, it works. The misdirection works more like a zone, but as you can see, those guards and that tackle are going up to the next level. And if my interior blockers actually hold their blocks, that means I'm going to get some pretty huge yards up the middle with the misdirection. Now, in certain passing situations, a counter might be effective for you. Basically, what you need to do is just make sure you read your tackle in this particular play. He's going to tell you whether you're going to bounce this to the outside or if you're going to go ahead and bounce this to the inside. Now, this is shotgun. But even then, you can see the backside pursuer actually gets me on the backside. So I don't like the predictability of the counter. The blocking sometimes is just really not effective. And I would rather go with a more effective run play, like an inside zone or a sweep or a pitch. That way I can get a little bit more certainty with it. So inside zone right here would be a good example to go ahead and get a little bit more certainty with my run. So this is going to conclude my series here, the Rushing Academy. This is going to be basically breaking down probably about the 8 most popular plays in the running plays. I really wanted counters to be more of an effective running play, but it just really wasn't there. But if I was going to look for a counter concept, I would just go ahead and flip, audible flip a power play, because it's essentially the same concept, and it's just a more predictable blocking scheme. So if you guys like this content, hit the like button. If you are new to my channel, I want to share with you, I actually do run full games with the schemes I break down. I break down offensive schemes, defensive schemes, and I show you full games, live content of me reacting at live time, and actually showing you how I make adjustments against my opponents to try to pull off wins. I post all my games. Not only do I post all my wins, I also post all my losses, so you can learn from my losses and some of the mistakes that I make. To my subscribers, once again, thank you for my support, and also check out yutgaming.com. Several of us actually are doing some collaborations, and you can go ahead and see us building schemes off of each other. Once again, thank you for the support, and until next time.